First coffee all day. Honest. Do I always sit with a coffee in my hand? At the moment, I do. How are you doing, guys? Welcome to Matt Bajerski YouTube channel. It's a lovely day. No angel today. Where's my angel gone? Oh, yeah, no wings left. Oh, my God. How are you doing? Okay, so I tried to tackle a couple of subjects today. And I thought, well, why don't I share them with you? This is the kind of thing that I'm often asked with the understanding of energy and what I've learned over the years. And I try to share certain understandings so it might open and widen the mind and the horizons to the possibilities that, that might be a possibility, that. So I'll give you some of the things that were asked of me today and I mentioned today. First thing this morning, what was mentioned to me is, what's your thoughts and feelings on sacred sites, and why is there always huge stones, and what do you think? Well, I've never really studied anything like that before, but being a child, I remember going to a place called Stonehenge, and I recall looking back now the energy that I felt, which was extremely positive. You might think, wow, how do you remember that? I do. I remember feeling lots of different feelings looking back. Have I ever been to other sacred sites? Lots of sacred sites I've been to, mainly sites that nobody really knows about. And on those particular sites, there were certain shapes of stones, whether they had fallen, whether they were still static in the thousands of years that they were there. Who knows? I don't know how long they were there for. But what I always found fascinating is they were very similar. This is going to sound really bizarre. You know, Mother Earth is a very unique place, a very, very special place. Mother Earth is in itself a life giver. It gives life to fruit, flowers, vegetables, trees. One of the things that I realized, that when I would pick a certain crystal from a certain place in the world, it had a unique energy of its own. And I used to think to myself, did Mother Earth grow that crystal with the intention of giving it to somebody else, that somebody comes along and takes it and then uses it? I often ask myself that question, why is this crystal in my hand, and why does it make me feel the way I do? I'm getting there, honestly. So as I worked with the crystals and I sat with them, and for some time I'd sit with them for certain reasons. So I'd sit with them for a meditation, say for instance, or I'd go to, at the very beginning of my journey of enlightenment, and circle nights and learning from, various people, listening and feeling and doing a lot of meditation at the circles that I went to with all the beautiful Danish ladies and men. And when I'd finished with that crystal, I'd often hand it to a member of family or a friend, and they'd say the same thing as what I was feeling with that crystal when I was working with it, without even realizing. I started to realize that a crystal is a memory holder. It holds information. So we might often think that the crystal is that what is the power, but actually, could it be that wherever that crystal was, that the energy in the earth at certain places resonate to a certain frequency that heals on certain levels? If asked, do you believe that that crystal is purely and simply good for this, I would say where that crystal was dug from has an energy that will help heal you for a particular reason. And if you were to take that very crystal and place it in the ground where, let's say, an amethyst is, and say the crystal that you've got is, I don't know, let's say a rose quartz, and you put them together with the rose quartz, I believe that amethyst, if put next to the rose quartz in the area and the vicinity where it grows, that the amethyst would also be charged and it would have a download of that very energy in Mother Nature. Not in the crystal, but in Mother Nature, in its ground, in its soil, in its power and being, Mother Nature's energy. So getting back to the stones, my thoughts and feelings is, I know nothing about the alignment of the stars, so I can't say. I'm sure there must be something in it because people say so. But some people talk about extraterrestrial and stuff, and I'm sure there's something in that, and I'm sure there's something in a lot more. But my take is that Mother Nature, when placed certain structures, you can channel Mother Nature's energy through anything, because whether it's a stone or a crystal, they vibrate differently, but they are still energy frequencies. So a stone, you might think, oh, it can't absorb anything, but actually, what if it can? What if a stone is very much married to Mother Nature in its true form? That's why it was born and made here, to be able to be a transmitter of the energy that Mother Nature holds beneath her. And what say that certain people realized in ancient times, and that they placed certain structures which, when touched and felt, might be able to have the energy come up from the ground into the stone and vibrate around. And I don't know whether it goes up or not, but my feeling is that whenever I touch a stone, I feel the same as a crystal, and I feel something vibrating in my body. So is it the stone? I don't think it's the stone. I think it's the connection between Mother Earth and the stone. So Mother Earth sends her energy through the stone, and it's almost like an amplifier. And I guess only the stone can do that. I think that's what the stone is for. That's my feeling anyway. So when I've been round to sacred places with structures and statues of stone and all of these things, whenever I felt them, I felt a funny feeling in my body. And then I'd go to another structure and touch that, and I'd feel a different sensation in a different part of my body. And the sensation I used to feel was one of positivity. It was never a negative feeling, even though you might think so, because what I was feeling at some times, oh, that hurts. But I've come to realize that that hurting is a healing. It's a clearing of negativity and a strengthening of that particular place, which may be needing some good energy. So when asked many times, what do I believe these stone circles do? I would err on the side of each one of them is like a musical instrument, like its own vibration, and like, as we all know, when played, can resonate at a certain frequency. And that frequency is the equal frequency to a certain part of the physical body, i.e. the eyes, the mind, liver, kidneys, heart, back, blah, 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 blah. So I would say that whenever you get a chance to go to a sacred site and see these big, huge, monumental statues, then just go over and feel. Close your eyes and just feel the energy. I believe some people can feel it, and I believe, like crystals, some people haven't got a clue and don't even realise, don't feel anything. But actually you are feeling something, and something is happening. And sometimes, when people say, I never felt anything, but I felt something from this, or I never felt anything from that crystal, but 3 weeks later, oh my God, I can feel something. And I often say, well, that's because the most important part of the work is for the crystal to heal you from the energy of you being blocked to begin with. So it may be activating a part of your body to become sensitive, to feel. So that was one of the questions asked of me. So I hope that makes probably no sense to you all. If I said that to Parfit next door, who lives next door to me, who was 92 years old, who was an architect who was written about Stonehenge, he'd be mortified. He believes it's a burial ground, which, again, he might be right. I think I'd like to be buried in a sacred site where the energy is amazing and healing. Okay. You know what, guys? I think that's it today. I think that's my message today. I am asked many questions, and if you do want to ask me a question, then underneath here, fire away, ask some questions, and maybe in the next coming days, wherever I am, wherever I'm going and traveling, I'm going to sit down and spend maybe 10 minutes and answer one of those questions for you. So from my heart to yours, have a beautiful day, whatever you're doing. And as a final note to you all, please don't fight with other people. Facebook is becoming more toxic day by day, so I'd stay well away from it. I think now it's on its final legs. I think for me, it's becoming more devious, more devilish, more evil, and it's bringing out the worst in people day by day. I'm really very, very close to really shutting everything down on there now, because not just because of the principles to how bad they are and how devious they are, but how Facebook is almost like a dark entity that is encouraging people to hate one another and to mock one another and to judge one another like I've never seen in my whole entire 16 years of working. I've seen nothing now but pure evil on Facebook, and I think it's now doing exactly what it was always meant to do, and that is for one another to be separate and hate each other. Let's hope that YouTube still remains a little bit neutral, even though we can see it still slipping down that path. But that was my second little message today. Have a great day. Love you all. Take care of yourself till tomorrow. Thank you once again for going to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel, crystals, and seeing all the crystals that I work on and me talking about them all. And also thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your authentic crystals that I've searched for around the world and work on every day, like this table here, filled with the most amazing crystals in the world. Plus, I always put my energy into each one, especially for you. So thank you for trusting in my crystal work, and thank you for being my friend. Take care, guys. Till tomorrow.